Hello and welcome to the Cutie Art Crusaders, episode 161 for August 21st, 2015. I'm back, finally, after like 6 weeks. My name is Rainbow Plasma. I am the organizer and host, and soon to be more than that, but we're figuring that out currently. And today I'm joined by...
Burn One, the special guest coordinator.
I'm FlutterGuy317. I'm the media manager, and this week I'll be editing.
And I'm Atmospark. I'm just here to fill in the numbers.
The numbers?
It's true. 3
We
is
have to have 4, but that's all I do. I'm just a seat filler.
The fourth man. Hey.
See, we bought a 4th chair and everything,
and we just really want to get the value out of that chair.
Yeah.
No, you're the questions guy.
Yeah.
All right, I am too, aren't I?
You just happened to not be the questions guy this week because we didn't think you were going to be here, so I did the questions for you, but then you ended up being here.
Yeah.
It's a really cool story, I swear. So, by the way, welcome back, everybody, to anybody who has not forgotten about us in the last 3 weeks or 2 weeks that we haven't put out an episode. We're back from BronyCon, or at least 3 of us are. The 4th of us obviously could not make a podcast by himself, which would be crazy. So, we're finally back. I'd like to say we're rejuvenated, but I'm exhausted and also sick. So, I'm going to rely completely on Joel to take over my talking for this episode. So, yeah.
Oh, really? I don't know if that's the smartest thing.
Can you be a rainbow plasma?
I don't think anybody really can be, but you can imitate one. Don't imitate me, please.
Sorry.
I am Max. Maximilian Goad.
So yeah, we don't want to bog down this episode with BronyCon stuff, because usually the con stuff is cool for us and literally nobody else. So we had a fun time at BronyCon. It was a fun time at BronyCon. There was some really awesome stuff. I wanted to mention the panel, but I'm going to let someone else do that, or else I'll talk this entire episode. But I just wanted to overall say BronyCon was awesome. Thank you to everybody who came out, whether or not you were a vendor, whether or not you're a fan. We loved all of our interactions there. I had an amazing time. I know everybody else had an amazing time. So thank you so much for coming out.
Highlight of the year.
Yay! Actually, my highlight is getting to talk to Joel again.
Yeah.
It's true.
I hope everybody enjoyed my 1 hour sing along last week.
We did miss you, man. You should come out next year if you can make it somehow.
If we can.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome.
So, thanks to everyone who came to the panel.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So
really
Joel
cool.
doesn't know this because we haven't told him anything about the panel.
No.
No, well, I told him a little bit.
Okay, so here's the deal, right? Mm-hmm. We had a panel, and I was like, there's nobody who's going to come to the panel. Probably only because I didn't want to be disappointed. Joel, 75 people came to the panel.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy because the room fit 100.
Only 75? I think we got more than that.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we got a little present for you, which I don't have because it's still on my camera. But basically, we got the entire room of people to say, "We love you, Joel." So I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that video off my camera this weekend and show it to you, and we could put it in this video. So Ted, I'll get that to you as quickly as possible.
Is I'm going to have to watch this episode?
It means you have to watch this episode. No, I'm going to show it to you separately. 2, 1, go, and then we're going to say, "We love you, Joel," as loud as possible. All right? 3, 2, 1, go. We love you, Joel! Woo! Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming out to our panel. So the panel went really awesome. And we're sorry that we couldn't contact you, Joel, but things were so crazy that it was
very
impossible.
rushed.
It's all good. Yeah. Nobody even responded to my WhatsApp messages the whole 2 weeks.
Sorry.
I tried.
I know.
I didn't have data in the States. It costs me money.
But what
I'm
about
lazy.
Wi-Fi?
Well, we didn't have Wi-Fi that often.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And once again, sorry about the lack of recording of the panel. Our video lasted for about 9 minutes, and then it just completely corrupted itself. So that's unfortunate.
Love it when that happens.
Yeah. But fortunately, we do have a ton of videos of press conferences and stuff, and I am hopefully going to be trying to put them up last weekend. So they should already be up, but if not, then they will be up soon.
Didn't BronyCon record our panel?
Yes, BronyCon did record our panel. So whenever they get around to it in 2017, it'll be up on YouTube on their channel.
So eventually we'll get like a late Christmas present next year.
They said
panel.
they should be on top of it, and who knows, maybe we can get that footage and post it to our own channel. We'll see.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Do you actually have the first 9 minutes that you were mentioning there?
Yeah.
I feel like that would be cool to kind of see, because I know I was freaking out in the first like 9 minutes.
I should post just that and then just abruptly cut it off. And
well,
everyone will
okay,
be
here's the deal.
confused.
Spoiler alert for anybody who like we're totally just having like a discussion in group right now. But like the what we should do is when BronyCon releases their version, we can release that version and then link to their version.
Hey.
And be like, this is a teaser. Ooh.
That will work.
Or we could just take the BronyCon's version and then cut over what we recorded on the front of it, and then splice them together and post it on our channel.
But then we can't do a teaser. Yeah, I mean, that's a good idea, too.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Make a
And then we
teaser
can-
to the one we splice.
We can splice in the art too, then that would work.
Oh yeah, we put the art on the screen of what we showed.
Oh, that's
That'd be
true.
good.
That's true. So
Guys, we're planning in the middle of a CAC podcast. What the heck are we doing?
this is more planning than we did for the panel.
I know.
While we're on the subject of it, I'd like to actually give a shout out to the people who we met, because after we did our panel, we said like, hey, everyone here, if you'd like to talk to us or whatever, like stay after and have a chit chat with us or whatnot. And like a huge chunk of people stayed, like a very large gathering of people.
Like at least
stayed
20
after the
people
panel.
for sure.
And I got to talk to a girl there who showed me her, what is it, her colored pencil drawing of Rainbow Dash that you guys didn't get to see. And I really hope that she contacts us, because it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
So if any of you said hi to us, hit us up again and be like, hey, saw you at BronyCon. It was cool.
We already got
It'd
one.
be nice to
hi.
keep in touch.
Like,
Yeah.
we already
Got
got
what?
one person sent us a note saying hi for that you guys met. It was
Oh, that's awesome.
was it Famosity?
Oh,
yeah,
Famosity sent us a note. Yeah,
Yay.
so Famosity was a vendor there. That's cool.
By the way, one of the things that we're sending to you is a commission from Famosity.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, is it? I didn't even know that. That's news to me.
Yeah.
Woo! All
You
right.
know what else is
well,
cool?
What?
My cat likes to sleep in circles. Like, not being a circle. Like, if she sees a circle made out of something, like the vacuum cleaner hose, when it curls up, she sleeps in the middle of it.
What if it's an oval?
Also, as long as
Get
it's a
out.
circle.
Well, cats like to be in confined spaces. So.
But it's like,
that
it's
makes sense.
just the circle of, like, if I draw a circle on the floor, I'm sure she'd sleep in it.
Yeah, it's true. If you another thing you can do is just put random plastic bags on the floor and she'll sleep in
Oh,
those.
they love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know why.
The cats are weird.
How did we even? How did we? Okay, I'm wrapping up.
You know
the
what
BronyCon
else is
stuff.
cool?
I know. I'm wrapping up the BronyCon stuff. Okay,
Wait.
I'll wrap it up. Just let me do it, Joel. Okay.
Okay.
Just let me. Okay. Here's the deal. I'm not sure about the other guys, but we're gonna stop talking about the BronyCon stuff. If you'd like to hear more about BronyCon or anything like that, I'm sure we'll be posting pictures. I've got a journal up, kind of talking about my experience a little bit. Maybe the other guys will put stuff up too. You can find it on our own personal DeviantArts, and that's basically it. We'll probably put up pictures, and then that's end of BronyCon in podcast.
Okay.
So,
what else
you know
is
what
fun?
else is cool? Art.
Yeah, that.
Was
Hey.
that what you were gonna say, Joel?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Cool.
completely thought that, and that's why I was like, maybe he has a good segue this time.
I got you.
What do you mean? What do you mean this
Hey.
time? I always have good segues.
Last time it was just a tangent about a cat. Cat
Yeah.
facts, really.
Yeah. You are now subscribed to Cat Facts.
Oh no, not this
We
again.
should do a cat episode,
We should though.
like cat horses.
Cat.
Or
Or
just
just
like
be an
how
interview with
does that-
Pudge, though.
it's like
yeah.
Opal and just Opal episode.
Oh, I forgot one more thing. One more thing about BronyCon. Sorry, really quick. Also, thank you to all the new people who have never watched our show who came out to the panel. I hope that you are now watching this episode, and if you've made it this far, then I swear we're going to talk about art soon. We had a
We
bunch
swear
of
we're
we had a
usually more
bunch of people at the
coordinated.
panel who had never seen our show before, and they stayed through the entire thing and actually seemed to enjoy it. So that's
Yeah,
cool.
that was really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I hope you know you guys. I I hope some of you guys listening out there are new to the show. I hope you enjoy listening to it. And I swear we've gone through the rambling. We do this every episode. And we'll
also, thanks for all our friends over there. I love you. At the front of the row.
All right, Art.
Okay. Now, speaking of BronyCon, my artist that I chose was there, and this was a print from BronyCon. It's called
true. We met Aqua
Protagonist
Galaxy.
by Aqua Galaxy. Thank you.
I got a traditional piece from her.
So did I.
Did you?
She was drawing of Rainbow Dash, and it was really pretty.
Well, Rainbow Dash is in this one. It's most of the protagonists. Well, a bunch of them. Most of the ones that are popular.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I didn't look at the title. So it was like, that's a really good word to use, protagonist.
Oh yeah, no, I remember this print. This print was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aqua Galaxy was really nice, by the way. Very sweet.
Super shy.
Yeah. I think have we tried to get her on the show? And she said she was shy? I don't know.
Joel, what do you like about the piece?
The colors. Look, it's
Dang
so
it.
colorful, and everything is just so bright and colorful, and look at Celeste's hair and the way it's done, and then Luna's hair, and it's so dark but still really colorful in that Aqua Galaxy style, and then Twilight is all sparkly and has a big
She's a
bright
princess.
horn. She's a princess,
This piece is so Aqua Galaxy,
isn't it?
right?
I like
And
the
just
brushes.
the brush styling and stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
and even the colors too, right? Like if you ever look at any of Aqua Galaxy's pieces that are in her quote unquote style, it's all pushing the boundaries of what colors she can use and still managing to make it look good.
Look at Luna's and Celeste's hair are just stereotypical Aqua Galaxy.
It's for
just
sure.
classic.
Stereotypical.
That's it. You're a stereotype.
Just
These dang stereotypical
is-
ponies.
so like Aqua Galaxy to paint like her. Gosh.
So, Aqua Galaxy is now a style of art, by the way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This
Original,
piece
do
has
not steal.
95% Aqua Galaxy.
And a touch of white diamonds because it's like watercolory brush. I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I really like the colors too. I think the thing I like about the colors is the way that it kind of it's kind of like a cascading color effect. The colors shift kind of slowly over time depending on where you're looking at. I wanted to relate it back to there was a picture that I just showed the guys before we started the podcast. It was a guy on Reddit who posted a bunch of his plushies, and he made a rainbow of them. And I just posted it in the Google Doc for you guys.
Flush rainbow.
And I like it when you can take something that each thing is individually colored, but when you put them together, the colors start to merge and it becomes this new kind of color. Yeah. And this reminded me a lot of that, where it's these colors are all kind of flowing together, and they start working together independently of the individual ponies that have the colors. Kind of how Rainbow Dash's hair does that. A lot of rainbows do that in general.
The colors are very well laid out too in this piece. The specific ponies are placed in such a way that the colors do work together. And it's not really so much they pop against each other, but it's more that it works with the background and with the other ponies surrounding them. Kind of. I'm just looking at the Wonderbolts and at Daring Do, and they kind of fit in with the background where they are.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah, so they blend in as where they are, whereas everyone else kind of doesn't do that, but they kind of bleed into the background, if you get what I'm saying. If you look at Applejack, the bottom of her is orange, and then she bleeds into the orange background. Her parts of her drip off and become the background. Same with Rainbow Dash. Fluttershy a little, but
She's standing on grass.
Yeah,
Or
Kinda.
snot.
it does look kind of like snot.
What's wrong with you?
I mean, either or, really. It's kind of like a coin flip.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it would make sense for Fluttershy to be hanging out in a bunch of snot, hey?
No, she's with
No
the
comment.
smooze.
No comment.
She's with the smooze.
Speaking of,
Maybe.
Discord's not a protagonist. I don't know why he's not in here.
I know.
Well, so I was gonna say that his color scheme is too chaotic, but I think in general a lot of these, if you look at like Celestia's color scheme, it's kind of all over the place when you look at like the number of colors she has. So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that he was a huge protagonist in the story. You know, when you look back on it, he's only had a couple of episodes, right?
Well, yeah, he's not a protagonist; he's a villain.
Well, nowadays I think he would fit into kind of the protagonist mold if he'd been in a couple more episodes.
I don't know if he would though, because he still messed up the gala, like intentionally. He knew Smooth would go nuts and brought the Smooth.
I don't know if he's like a villain or if there's a totally different classification for him.
We need TV tropes.
Yeah.
Tell us what to feel.
Someone do the research for us, because I'm afraid of that place. It's a never-ending hole.
Hey guys, have you noticed Pumpkin's face on the right side?
Mm-hmm.
Can we do something that we haven't done in a while and zoom in on the derp face? Derp.
Derp.
That is one heck of a derp face. It's great.
Yeah.
I think Derpy's pretty derp as well.
I don't know. I would say she is below average derp.
Oh no,
normal derp to
one
do.
eye is just going the complete wrong direction.
I
One
don't know.
eye's still looking at the viewer though.
Yeah.
One eye is.
There could be more derp. 5 out of 10.
I like the way that Luna is outlined, that Aqua Galaxy did, because it's very loose brush strokes of like this white-ish, like, I mean it's different colored white bright colors, but like the tip of her wing and like the outline of her hair and like her little chest piece.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's less evident in the other ponies in this piece, but you can see that she's done that on almost every single other character. It's most prevalent in like Pinky's hair and Fluttershy's hair, and even Big Mac on the left. You see a lot of it. It's almost as if she created the piece in its entirety, and then at the end went over it really quickly with this really thin white, almost like pencil
Almost
or
like a
pen, and
crayon.
just quickly like outlined stuff that didn't have enough definition.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like that technique using a white crayon before watercolor.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
Almost looks like
Although this gives me the impression, and it's probably just because it's digital, that it looks like it's on top afterwards for sure. But I can see where you're coming from. I actually didn't think of that at all. But you're right, that is kind of really similar. Can you describe to people who haven't done that before, like what that does?
because crayon obviously is wax and watercolor is water. Water doesn't. Wax is hydrophobic, so water doesn't like stay on it. So if you do a white crayon wax line and then paint over with watercolor, that white line will stay there no matter how much pigment you put on it.
It's
So
part of
you'll always
that.
have you'll always have a nice white clean line.
Yeah, and the wax also helps protect the paper from other pigment binding to it. So sometimes what you'll see is the paper gets like painted on or watercolored, and then they'll put wax crayon over that and then paint over that again, and then it creates like a protection area. You know?
You can get like clear wax, just wax to paint and then wax and then paint again.
Interesting.
So
That's a really cool technique that I haven't heard of in a long time, but now that you mentioned it, it's like, oh yeah, forgot about that.
Everyone's probably
It's
done
like-
it in like primary school or kindergarten and just forgotten about it.
Yeah.
That's like dyeing Easter eggs. You put wax on the eggs and you put the eggs into the dye, and then
I have never dyed an
That's
Easter egg.
that's not a thing here because our eggs aren't white.
oh
I've also never dyed an Easter egg.
wow.
I'm on the same page as you, Ted. I've totally
Thanks.
dyed an Easter egg. It's a very
Silver
German thing.
was very sad that we couldn't do it this year.
Oh
So yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's a nice piece.
Yeah.
I think it's good. Should we move on?
Yeah. We can move on to the next piece.
Cool.
Which is Burns.
No,
oh, no,
it's
yours.
not.
It's yours.
It's mine. So, my piece is called "Free at Last" by Underpable. It's a slight continuation of his other piece that he did called "Nightmare Pony," which I will also link for you guys here. And basically, it's Nightmare Moon breaking free from the chains on the moon, and I guess this is right when the 1,000 years is up, And yeah, it's a wonderful piece. I am just going to say that the thing that stands out to me is just the huge amount of motion that this picture conveys. It does it like in like 6 different ways, and I love the kind of impact, of all of this. It really conveys this sense of power, this sense of speed, the weight behind what she's doing, and the motion that is currently happening and is going to happen. It's one of the best examples of motion depicted in an art piece that I've seen in a long time, and that's really cool.
It's pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree. Like you've got the whole whipping chains going everywhere, and then that blurs out to the background, and then you've got she's ripping that big chunk of moon rock out of the moon, and then there's like a canyon created by that, and then there's the explosion of her hair, and just so much just everywhere. Also,
I was going to mention the explosion of the hair because it was something that I didn't actually notice at first, but it's almost like she's hit the ground really hard with her hair as she pulled back, and it's like gone like water or something, and it's like spread out. But again, like that kind of splat, right? Like a splat conveys a lot of energy that has just occurred, right? And so that can kind of tell you like something, like there was just an impact, and so it conveys kind of past motion or even present motion if it's still continuing to spread out.
I like the spirals in both that splat of hair and also in the wisps of, I guess, is that part of her mane?
Yeah,
maybe?
looks like it.
On the right side, you mean?
On the right and the left?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I think it's just kind of like ethereal trails of her mane or something like that.
I mean, she is kind of an otherworldly being.
Well, she's on the moon, for gosh sakes.
Oh, that's cool. If you look at the Earth, the continents make a pony face.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
Mare in the earth.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a happy face.
So I was just mentioning before the podcast, I think Ted said like, "Oh, I really like Undurpable's work." And my favorite thing about Undurpable is their ability to do a variety of things.
Yeah.
So, for example, like I don't remember if it's a he or she, and I feel bad.
It's he.
So I'm gonna go look it up. Okay, so he does comedy, he does these serious pieces, he does motion, he does sad stuff, he does creepy stuff, he does goofy stuff and epic stuff, and he does all these different scenarios, and I feel like he does them all really, really well, and I love the variety that he provides. And even within this own piece, you've got this big epic scene where Nightmare Moon is ripping herself off of the moon, and then in the background there's like a pony face that's like lol.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird like juxtaposition, but I feel like it describes Undurpable stuff so perfectly.
Yeah, he has a very nice sense of humor, and he
I
builds
love that you
characters
guys.
in a lot of different
Another thing
ways.
by him that you guys might not have seen because you were away was he was at BronyCon, or he was at one of the conventions. Yeah, I think it might have been at the.
I don't think he was at
European
BronyCon.
one? It was at one of them. Might have been the European one.
Galacon, probably.
Galacon. And he did a picture of Twilight just before he went, being all cute and excited and with a suitcase ready to go. And then he got off the plane and did another one where Twilight was all haggard and just wanted to get there, and the suitcase was falling apart, and that was pretty great. So that was a funny story.
I saw that whole series. It was like there was, I think, 2 or 3 or 4 pieces in that.
Yeah. No, they were really good. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, Undurpable's got a great sense of humor, and a great sense of kind of, but again, like he doesn't, like, there's a lot of artists that do like humorous stuff really well, and when they do like more serious things, it's like, oh, that's nice, but don't quit your day job,
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not the case with Undurpable. Like, stuff like this comes out, and you're like, whoa, where did that come from? He's got such talent in many different facets.
And
I like the I like the area in which the chain is kind of attached to this rope. There seems to be some sort of like symbol there. I can't make out exactly what it is, but it like
chain attached to rope. What do you mean?
I mean the rock.
Oh, the rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
What rope?
That's also in the first one, the Nightmare Pony one.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it might be some sort of like magic lock that Celestia put on it.
Binding symbol, what have you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Also, I like Luna's drawing in the Nightmare Pony of Celestia. Sorry, Dumbles.
Well, I mean, again, that kind of describes his opinions, his kind of style, and his way of doing things. Right, serious piece, dealing with a quote unquote serious subject. Lol, it's ponies. And then you've got like silly drawings and like a Portal reference. Just this juxtaposition. It's huge. You can't get away from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this piece. I think it's one of the best, if not the best, pieces when it comes to conveying a huge amount of motion, and it was so impressive to me because it really stood out as this gripping piece and this piece that's just moving right off the page, and I think that's the coolest thing.
I agree.
There is a space corner in the first one. I didn't even see that.
Oh yeah.
Nice. I
Nice.
also appreciate that he chose to do every single star in its own its unique brushstroke. So it was quite literally just him dotting with his pen on a tablet. He didn't use any other like tricks or like star brushes or something. He dotted it all by hand, and so very quickly at that.
I mean, obviously, you wouldn't look at that and be like, "Gosh, that's the most realistic star system ever." But it doesn't fall prey to the like, I'm copy pasting a star and it looks like stars.
It's just, you can tell when someone kind of does it all by hand, especially kind of in a quick fashion, and so I appreciate that touch. I believe the main's done in a similar way too. Something I really appreciate, the main and tail, how it's done, how he illustrated it, is it's full of these like purple dots, these purple splotches, and then he like kind of plays with that and like puts like dots inside of dots, and it makes a very kind of unique and interesting looking magic-y like spotted tail.
But it's kind of the same way that he did the stars in a way,
Yeah, but it's very unique. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah. Very
All
cool
right.
piece.
Anybody else got anything else to say about it?
I like the way that Luna is drawn, or Nightmare Moon is drawn in. It's kind of a 3D-esque fashion, shading, good shading.
Shading is very nice.
It's
Wings are
well.
also very nice. We haven't talked about that at all.
Wings.
Yeah, those
So-
wings.
Is her wing clipped? Her right wing?
It looks like it, yeah.
Probably.
It
prevent
looks
it from
like
flying
there's
off.
chain wrapped around the bone of it, which is splitting the feathers. That's what it
Yeah.
looks like to me.
So her wing
Yeah.
clips, she can't fly.
Yeah.
It's not that it's clipped. It's that there's a binding around it. Just like if you look like her legs and her neck, there's those chain bindings around it. So there's
And her
just
horn.
there's a binding around her wing. It's not that it's clipped. Like when you put like a like a tracking marker or something like on a penguin or like on a bird, you don't clip their wings. You wrap a little thing around it, and so like it's parting her feathers aside, but it's not clipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Clipping the flat, but it's clipping.
Yeah, I think you guys just had different definitions of clipping. I knew exactly what Joel meant when he said clipping. Like you clip a paper clip onto something.
Oh, like something's clipped onto it.
Yeah, because there is the whole clipping wings.
If you were to say something like a wing is
up.
clipped, it's clipped so the bird can't fly. Like I used to own a parakeet, and when we picked up the parakeet, its wings were already clipped. So
Right. All right, we need to stop saying clipped because I've gotten semantic satiation and it doesn't mean anything to me anymore.
So something interesting that I wanted to point out is the kind of how he chose to light this. So how Interpretable lit everything, and it's very bright and it's very white, and it's jarring because normally you don't see lighting like this, but I feel like it fits in because she's on the moon, right? She's on a completely white and like dull surface from like any other forms of color. And so it's basically just like this white, blue, and violet, and like those are kind of like the major colors in all of this. Well, I guess it's kind of like an off-moon yellowy tan, but still. But like the chains are lit in like a very like white and like bluish, and then like everything else is still very like bright. The ground is bright. How Nightmare Moon is lit like on her wings and body is again like very bright. And so I don't think it's my monitor's brightness, but it's very nice.
For anyone who may be surprised, like the moon is actually a lot brighter than you think it is. If you try and take a picture of the moon with like manual settings and stuff, it's basically like taking a picture of the sun. Like you have to put everything down a lot, but your eye like has this very large dynamic range of lighting, so it kind of blends it into like the black sky and the starry night, so you don't really notice it until you try and do something like that.
Yeah.
I'm always jealous of our eyeballs when it comes to like making really cool pictures. When we were taking pictures the last couple of weeks on our trip, like I would constantly look at something and be like, wow, this looks amazing. And I pull out my camera and it's like, I can either see the sky or the ground. There's no in between.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like trying to take pictures of the moon. You can't do it and get pictures of clouds as well. I've tried.
All right. Shall we move on to the next piece?
Sure. I believe that is
Burns
piece.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of story that comes behind this piece. And also it's on Tumblr, so it won't be in our DeviantArt favorites folder. But anywho, we'll sort that out later. But there's a little bit of story behind it. The thing is, this is by Cosdraw is the artist's name. Or I believe she also goes by Erica Silverson is her name. I believe that's how you pronounce her last name, Silverson. So if you can look up actually art of Erica Silverson on, you can just Google art of Erica Silverson. She has a website where you can check out her art. But it's really awesome stuff. And I had never seen this artist's art before. And while we're at BronyCon, browsing through the artist alley, I saw this picture of Twilight as a seahorse hanging up. And it really caught my eye because it was a giant print. It was like this huge, like, not one of like the actual, paper prints. It was like on like a tapestry thing or whatever. It was huge. And it was awesome. And I really liked how it was painted. I liked the colors in it. And I also like this pony painting of Twilight, or pony painting. Words
the
are hard.
Pwning of Twilight.
The Pwning of Twilight. Painting.
That's the episode title, boys.
I thought it was very cute. And so what Cosdra has done is she's actually has this kind of little like headcanon or like little world she's developed for all of the ponies as sea ponies, but they're not just like sea ponies as you would think in the show, kind of just like a mix between like a horse and a seahorse. She has made them kind of like seahorses or sea ponies and then added another like fish into them. So she's done the entire main 6. Which I don't know if we'll put on the screen or not, but she has really cool designs for all of them, and I really like Twilight. So she's a mix between a lionfish and like a seahorse. So she's like a lion horse fish,
sea fish.
Yeah, right. And then the other really cool one was Applejack as an octopus. But it's very cool stuff. I recommend you go check them out. But yeah, so this was a new artist I found out about at BronyCon, and it was just, I thought this piece was really nice, really pretty, really fabulous, very bright, very colorful, really good kind of like color harmony and stuff like that. And yeah,
I like the lighting from the waves. I don't really know what you call that type of lighting. It's like, I guess it's kind of like internally reflected lighting on the water as it ripples.
Refracted?
And you can see it on. It's not really.
Yeah,
maybe it's refracted.
Refractive lighting, reflective lighting. What Ted's referring to is that there's a bunch of really colorful stuff underneath the water, and then that the light from that hits the top surface of the water and then bounces back again. So like there's the sun rays that are like showing through the water behind her, right? That kind of acts as like the spotlight, which is very pretty. But then there's also like the coral and anemones underneath her reflecting off the water as well.
Anemones.
I'm talking about the the pattern on Twilight.
That. So yeah, so that would actually be like refractive lighting, because like the light is going through the water, refracting off of its ripples, and then being bent and creating lines on things.
Yeah.
But yes, on like her hoof and like her body and stuff.
Yeah, it's cool.
I gotcha.
Yeah. I too like the colors in this piece. It's all very like blue, but it's like a dark, kind of a warm blue in a way, almost.
Yeah, it's very rainbowy because there's like kind of that dark, very saturated blue on the right hand side, but then on the left you have violet to red to green, and so there's kind of this almost like a rainbow effect going on in all behind her. But it's very muted in comparison to the colors that are in the foreground, and then her. In fact, it looks like things actually they become more saturated as they become closer. So like the corals in the bottom are very like kind of bright yellows and oranges because they're kind of on the same plane as her. And then Twilight herself is kind of very like saturated and bright and light colored. And so there's a contrast between how bright she is and then how dark the things are behind her, which I think is very well done in that saturatedness effect too. If you think about it, it's actually how it would work underwater. Because we talk about, what is it, atmospheric perspective. I've always wanted to talk about this. We talk about atmospheric perspective and how when you're looking through the atmosphere and through air, the atmosphere actually gets in the way and then makes things seem lighter and more desaturated, like when they're super far away. Well, the water does that too, but a lot more so. And it also like magnifies things due to refraction. So like when you're looking through the water, things become desaturated as they get farther away, but like much more so as in when they would if you're looking through air, obviously, right? So I feel like Khazra has kind of done that again, or done that with the water like behind Twilight, you know, like in the background, and then like the anemones and stuff underneath her as well.
Anemones.
Yeah.
That all depends on like the cleanliness of the water too. Like if it's kind of murky, like you might not be able to tell immediately that it's murky water, but like your vision will be severely limited because of the extra debris in the water. But even like, you know, very clear water, it's the same kind of thing, like what you were talking about, Bernd, where it's like, you know, you can only look so many feet ahead or meters ahead, and then it drops off.
I mean, you know, not on the Great Barrier Reef near where I live, but you know, I've been snorkeling there. You can see for miles underwater.
Really?
Yeah.
Is the Great Barrier Reef near you?
No, it's like 6-hour drive.
Well, I mean,
that's still
it's
kind of
nearer
close
to you than it is to me.
Yeah.
I realized I've played so much Civ, and I play like near the Great Barrier Reef a lot, and like I just realized I have no idea where that is in the world.
It's Australia. It's off the coast of Queensland.
Well, there you go. Bam! I had no idea.
I want to go. It sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty great. You know, until it gets eaten by the crown of thorn starfish.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you know.
That old thing.
I like the way that Khazra depicted like the surface of the water in this, because it's a lot of just like random shapes and blobs that I can't really depict exactly what they are, but it's like it's basically the same thing as if you were looking into the water from above, where it's like things are kind of distorted and refracted and stuff, except this is the reverse, where you're looking outside the water from below. So
yeah, what I was kind of saying earlier is it looks like it's the reflection of what's underneath it. So you notice there's that little orange spot on the right-hand side, which looks like it's reflecting the orange anemone on the bottom right. So it's kind of like reflecting parts of Twilight in different colors, like underneath her in the water, rather than like what's above it, you know?
So Joel just brought up a photo, which I'll put up on the screen, of a turtle, and this is an actual photo of the ocean, so you can kind of see exactly what we're talking about in this, where it looks pretty much like that.
Turtle.
And like that's kind of just what we were saying. Like above the water is probably just blue sky, but when you're looking at the actual color on the surface of the water, there it's literally just a reflection of what's underneath it. So the coral like underneath the turtle.
Yeah,
it's a boss turtle. He's so cool.
Yeah,
it's a boss turtle.
Highly recommend everyone go check out this artist Tumblr, khazra.tumblr.com, and look at each one of the main 6, because they're very cute and very funny, and they're all illustrated just as well. Like, I appreciate that Fluttershy is a shy seahorse in an anemone, like hiding, like clownfish do for protection, and then Pinkie Pie's a jellyfish. Like, it's just too good. This is now like my official headcanon for sea ponies too. It makes me want to draw sea ponies so something again unique has happened in that I want to draw sea ponies like this, when before, admittedly on the show, I've said multiple times that I used to hate sea ponies, like the G1 sea ponies. Hate them. Still hate G1 sea ponies. But this has made me I found like a new love for sea ponies because of Khazra's art. It's definitely really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
Shoo-be-doo.
Shut your mouth.
Shoo-shoo.
All your mouths. That's what you get.
That was just for
I'm
you.
not gonna say you deserved that, but
No, that was totally on purpose, guys.
yeah, sure.
Shall we ride my snot bubble onto the next piece?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no! Please no.
Too late. I'm already inflating it.
All right. So the next piece is called "Restless Nights" by Husi.
By who?
And this is a piece of Luna, and it is a fantastically composed piece. It's a spiral composition. I don't know if it's golden spiral, but it very well could be. And I really like it. I like the colors. I like the contrast in value.
Value. I was gonna say this piece has this huge contrast in value,
Yeah.
but also colors.
QR fans saying values every single time.
Every time. Yeah, no, it's I really enjoy. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's only value because it's not like a black and white comparison. The colors do play a part in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to take this piece and desaturate it completely, it would look a lot less contrasting, but you'd still get some good contrast out of it. So I feel like it's a very nice combination of both a value juxtaposition and a color juxtaposition as well, which I thought was really cool. And I can't quite pick out which one would be more prevalent, like which one has more of an impact. They both seem to kind of work simultaneously.
Well, it's interesting because the value shift, it kind of really separates out these two different layers. You have the foreground with Luna and this like big mess of darkness, and then you have this background layer, which is the this kind of scene of a valley and some mountains and stuff. And the valley and mountain background layer is very contrasted using mainly color. Like you can only pick out details in it because of the different colors that Husi uses in this. Whereas the foreground piece, which is Luna and the whole surroundings, is kind of a combination of the color and the value. Because that's kind of what he wants you to focus on. So it's a little bit more detailed and it pops a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, no, I'd say that's well put.
It's wallpaper sized.
I know. It's 1920 by 1080.
This piece is extremely pretty. In chat,
Isn't
I
it,
linked
though?
for you the desaturated version if you guys would like to look at it.
Yeah.
And just like you were saying, Ted, most of the detail in the background's all caused by color, and then there's a very stark kind of contrast in value in what is the Tantabus and Luna, like with each other. And I'd also say
that's
that
the Tantabus.
Oh, okay, yeah.
there we go.
Derp.
We got there. Okay. All right. Anywho, I do think there is a very strong kind of like golden spiral Fabrici sequence going on, and one of the ways you can try to snag that or look for it in artwork is how the Fabrici sequence works. Is it's like it's the square or whatever it is, and it's doubled, right? So it keeps growing like exponentially or shrinking exponentially, I suppose. However you want to look at it. So you can try to find that in artwork by if you look at where Luna's kind of like head or hair rests. It's in kind of like the halfway point, and then her nose as well is in the halfway up and down point. So every time, so the entire left hand side is like that like a square, or I guess I should find a golden spiral first, but so there's a square. There'd be a square on the left-hand side, and so there's probably a big square that goes about to where Luna's head is, and then there is another square in the top, probably I'd say on the bottom right, and which like separates some stuff, and then again up above, like where her head would be. Let's see. God, this spiral's upside down. Yeah, I could see it working. It's not like exact, but the point is when you use stuff like a golden spiral in artwork, you don't have to like follow it to a T. It's just a way to lead the human eye, in places where you want it to be and create like a spiral effect, which is very visually pleasing to us.
Well, it's like a concept, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not supposed to be something that you trace. It's more of like a concept that has, roots in how we look at pieces and how we look at the world.
It's the same with with most of those things. Like the rule of thirds, it's not a hard and fast rule. It's a guide. If you place your thing approximately here, it'll look better as opposed to putting it here.
Yeah, it's a thing that you can use to help you in your art piece. You don't have to use it and you don't have to follow it exactly, but it's an interesting thing that you can use.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff I said probably didn't make a ton of sense, but all I was trying to point out is,
It's alright, we've learned to expect that from you, Bud.
I mean, like, has any of our stuff made sense? No. We're just winging it. Speaking of winging it, I like the wings.
Yeah.
I do too. There's some subsurface scattering in the wings. Did you see that? It's awesome.
Because the light coming from like the background is coming through the tentibus as tendrils.
It's interesting because like this entire foreground piece is kind of a silhouette in a way, but it's also lit from like maybe just an ambient light source. So like a majority of the light is coming from behind Luna and the tentibus. And
yeah, I don't remember what it's called. Jordana Spirito in our color episode taught us a lot about light, and I don't remember what it's called, but when light reaches around an object, like when it like does that around the edges, and you can see that a little bit in her hair, that's kind of present and like near her chin and her neck. The light is kind of like wrapping around her body.
It's still refraction.
Yeah,
the light bends around an object.
Is that still the term you use?
No.
There's another term.
No. Refractive lighting is when light bends through something, not when it bends around something. So what Max is trying to point out is that there's just the light from behind her caused by her silhouette that happens to also be showing on part of her or bouncing off other things.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you were to stand in front of if you were to stand directly in front of like a light source, right? So you couldn't see the light source at all. Like you would see on the edges of your clothing or whatever, you'd see like little like lines of light kind of like outlining you. And she mentioned what that was, but I can't remember what the term is off the top of my head. Anyways, all I was trying to say was that was very present too, and I thought that was cool.
It's caused by silhouettes, right? When you have something blocking light or standing in front of a very bright light source.
Diffraction is the word.
The light that comes from it. Diffraction? Sure.
Yes,
diffraction.
Yes.
We have to be careful with our words. Like in the words we use things, there's a lot of different ones because there's refraction, now diffraction, and then
diffraction
reflection.
is light bending around something. Like if you're holding a ball and the light source is behind the ball, you'll be able to see the light source. That's diffraction. Refraction is when it's going through something, like if it's going through water or going through a lens.
Yep.
You're
and then
right
there's also reflective lighting, so something that is reflecting off of something, and we will we use that term a lot as well. And so I feel like there's a few spots that you could say that's happening on like Luna's face, but I think it's just really intelligent color choices.
Potential theme, maybe doing a light.
I think we already did a lighting theme. I think we should revisit it though because we have so much more knowledge about it now.
Fancy lighting, the theme.
Yeah. I like the way that Husi did the clouds in the background in this piece because they look like almost like Nightmare Before Christmas. The spiral
swirly
thing. Yeah, they're cool.
It's
the
very
background. Now that I'm looking at it again, the background looks a whole lot more real than it did when I first looked at this.
I know, right? Like when you adjust to it, because
the
like,
colors trick you for sure.
Yeah. Well, your eyes naturally adjust to Luna, and you notice that and the whole foreground first. But if you like force yourself to look at the background, like it's actually very, very well done.
Yeah, like I thought it was just a big smudge of color, but now there's an actual real background.
It's amazing what you can do with color, and so Husi's very, very good at that. And the color in the background as well, it reminds me of the the Celestia piece that he did. Do you remember that? The very, very bright, super saturated Celestia piece. Like it's like the same colors as Celestia. So it kind of creates a neat narrative there, you know. So like the background and like the sun and the light is everything is being lit with and drawn with Celestia's colors, and how Husi chooses to illustrate Celestia, and then it's being contrasted by the colors in Luna and like the Tandemus and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
One last quick thing I wanted to point out. I really like the touch that he's done with the bright point of light coming from Luna's crown. Sorry, that's just sitting at the bottom of the screen there.
Yeah,
I really like that. It's a cool touch.
That goes to that narrative too, because if you look at the crown, it's actually hitting the Tantabus and it's splashing. It's creating a little bit of a splash, which is cool to think about it, that it's kind of liquidy. And like that again goes into that word narrative I keep using, where like her crown's actually like falling off of her head and then hitting something. So it creates a little bit of depth there too.
Yeah. Fantastically done piece.
Very much.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So that is our art for this week. We're going to move on to the questions section.
Here we
Joel,
are.
we picked out the questions before you got here, but can you do the honors and read them out for us?
Are we going to do both? We've got time to do both? Yeah. All right.
Let's try one, and I will let you know if we have time for both.
Okay, which one do you want to do first? Want to do...
First one first.
Okay, we'll do the first one first. Got that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
first one first. If you could be a gemstone, which gemstone would you be? By Sonnenblitz.
So I just had a thought.
Uh-huh.
And that thought was that I suck. And the reason why I suck is because my other thought was, hey, I should probably pull up a list of the gemstones. That way we can all take a look at them and we could choose, right? But I didn't do that before the podcast. So now I'm stuck here sitting, stalling while I Google gemstones. And I'm doing that specifically for you guys because I already know which one I would be.
I think I know which one I want to be.
Well, never mind then. This was cool. I would be Topaz because my birthstone is Topaz, and I really like how Topaz looks. And I have never gotten anything with a Topaz in it, but I want it. I like the orange. I like orange Topaz, so I would be an orange Topaz.
Nice. I would be Pearl, if that counts as a gemstone, because she's my favorite character on Steven
Don't
Universe.
say Steven Universe. For God's
Too
sake.
late. It's already been said.
It's too late.
I would be my Gemsona.
Ugh.
So good.
Yeah. I don't know. In all honesty, I think probably Aquamarine.
I mean, basically, this question is which gemstone do you like the most?
Yeah.
Right. So.
Well, you see, my favorite like actual like shiny gemstone is amethyst. But I don't know if I'd want to be amethyst. You know,
She's kind of wild.
right?
Oh, for God's sake!
I think you'd make a great amethyst Joel.
I think so. Yeah.
For the record.
But like,
Not
there's
you
other
too,
stones I
Joel.
like. They're not gems, but like
Yeah.
opal and lapis,
I like Garnet too. Garnet's good.
jade. I like jade.
Yeah.
Ted, do you know
Sapphire.
any other gemstones?
Yeah.
I swear, if you say,
Say another Steven Universe gemstone. Say it.
Rose quartz.
Get wrecked. Does
Bryn, did you actually have an answer?
Steven Universe is a crystal gem? Yeah, I have two technically. Like, my two favorites. I've said this before when we talked about rocks for the same question. Like, I don't have an overly huge fascination with gemstones specifically, but I like my birthstone, Peridot. I like its color, kind of its like brighter lime green. So I enjoy my birthstone and its color. So I would go with that. But malachite and azurite also count as technically a gemstone. I guess it's more of a mineral. So
Yeah,
I
I
guess
was
those
gonna
don't
say.
count. Yeah.
It's more of a
This is a
stone
mineral.
rather than a gemstone.
Yeah, they're definitely minerals. They're not like a clear gemstone that you would see in
Yeah, like if I was
facets.
going to pick like rocks, obsidian's pretty cool. If you guys have ever handled that
Glassy
in real
stuff.
life.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was Ted's answer.
That was my
time
answer
we did
last
this question.
What?
2 weeks ago or whatever. I don't know. It was about rocks. You weren't here.
Yeah, we did
okay.
like your
Yeah.
favorite rock, and so this
Yeah.
one was more specific to
We had a
gemstone.
Oh,
broad
okay.
question.
By the way, Peridot, also a reference to Steven Universe.
Well, it's
Yeah,
probably the other way around.
when
but-
you pronounce the T. Yeah,
Yeah.
Isn't it like Peridot?
it's Peridot, but in Steven Universe they made her not. They made her name Peridot.
I think
it's like a play on the word.
Doesn't it depend on like where you are or something? Because I've always known it as Peridot.
It's probably based on where you are.
I mean, if you're in like places of the world. No, I'm just kidding.
Cut that out. Holy cow. Well, according to Wikipedia, it's either or. So
okay, cool.
Anyways, let's move on to the next question. We have time. Woo!
Yay! Next question is there anything interesting you have learned doing this show that you did not know before? By Ramslack.
Pick one thing.
Oh, good
one
Lord.
thing, everybody. One
everything.
thing.
No, that's not true.
I will go first because I have an answer.
Mm-hmm.
I have something that I've learned is interesting about myself. Because I hadn't really explored art before doing this show, I've learned a lot about my preferences for art and the things that I enjoy when I look at art. And I really enjoyed learning about my own preferences, specifically like how much I look for emotion in a piece. And like now I can pinpoint certain pieces, like why I like certain pieces as opposed to others, whereas before I would just look at it and be like, I guess I like that one and I guess I don't like that one. So now I can pinpoint certain things, and faces is one of them, obviously. That's like a meme now. But like really looking at the emotions of the piece and seeing like if I can gather what emotions they're trying to convey, and I really enjoy when like big emotions are shown properly. So that was a really cool thing to learn about myself and how I approach art.
I think we've all kind of been through that journey of like learning what we really enjoy in art on the show. I know like I've done that a lot as well. And so I know like we all have little like biases and like what we enjoy the most and like bring to the show usually. And a lot of that I've learned in the classroom myself. I know I'm kind of unique in that regard because I've been taking like a lot of art classes while taking the show. And I feel like a lot of my opinions are swayed by my art teachers or teachers that I've taken. So like I really enjoy a lot of more painty things or painterly stuff or very loose and sketchy things. And there was a time where I really liked them when we were doing the show. So like the feature we just or the piece we just featured about Husi, like I really, really enjoy that one, and I enjoy a lot of Husi's work. And I think that was kind of like that, I don't know, inspired-ish by my like for that was inspired by some of the art teachers that I've taken. But yeah, I'm not sure if there's like I know there's lots of stuff I've learned art-wise while doing the show. Pretty much like everything that I bring and talk about art while on the show, I've learned since we've started doing it. Because like I had a very limited knowledge, but I still had some like knowledge and appreciation of art. But then like while taking art classes and doing the show and looking at things and hearing and seeing things, like I would say the majority of my art knowledge now has been gained whilst making this podcast. So
yeah, I've learned how to be an art hipster actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Like I've learned how to appreciate art that like I never would have looked at before, but at the same time I now like can pick out art that just doesn't appeal to me because it is fairly basic. So I've kind of become a little bit more of an art snob, which is really sad because like I really used to appreciate a lot of pieces, but like in the same sense, like now I understand why I appreciate them more. So
yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
I guess mine would be like techniques, I'd say. Like we were talking about before, the golden ratio and the spiral and the rule of thirds and stuff. Most of that sort of stuff I didn't really know beforehand because I'd never really done art classes or anything. So, I guess that would be my thing.
Yay!
Cool. All right. Well, we made it through both questions in
Yeah, we
an
did.
adequate amount of time. I guess we do the plugs now, right?
Right? So we got to do
Oh,
the
I've been
thing.
staving off a sneeze for so long, and I was like, I thought I was fine, and then I started talking, and I guess as I keep talking, it goes away. So my body's just kind of like trolling me right now.
So do you want to do the plugs right now?
Absolutely not. The opposite of which I would like to do.
Do a
is the
sneeze.
plugs.
Do the sneeze. Okay, so we have a bunch of stuff. We've got Avocado, which is Cutie Art Crusaders. We have cutieartcrusaders.deviantart.com. We have cutieartcrusaders@gmail.com, youtube.com/cutieartcrusaders, and then the social medias, cutieartcrusaders@tumblr.com, facebook.com/cutieartcrusaders, and @cutieartcrusaders on the Twitter.
Yay.
As always, you can find us on match.com. I was going to make a reference to another site, but I feel like that's too topical and also strange. Anyways, none of our information is leaked. Lol. Anyways, you know what? I actually, so there's like the website you can go and like check if your email has like leaked or something. And like obviously none of our emails, but I haven't checked our Cutie Art Crusaders account email. Don't do that, people. That's not cool. Anyways, without further ado, that is everything for this week. Unless you guys have anything else to bring up.
Everybody go watch Steven Universe. It's really good.
I don't know what that is.
Really essential.
No problem.
Once again, I want to thank everyone who came to the panel because it was awesome, and I'm glad that we all had a good time there.
Yeah.
And we might actually do a lighting themed episode at some point because I really want to now. Thanks for bringing that up, Joel.
Yeah, I want to do it too.
And if you did get to chat with us, or even like if you're an artist and watch the show, please send us like a link to your work, because like the standout experience I had was like that one girl right at the end of our panel who showed me like her sketch of Rainbow Dash, and it's like she didn't have a DeviantArt, and I really hope that she makes one. But anybody out there watching, like someone else had us all sign a sketch of his Applejay. Like, I believe I follow him though.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, like, not to go into it too much, but it was really cool. We got to, like, sign stuff and take pictures, and it made me feel like a big boy, so that was cool. Oh, by the way, I forgot the one last thing. To anybody who I got there, so we're doing, like, a raffle for our panel, which now was, like, 3 weeks ago, lol. But because we were away on vacation, and because I'm back now and I'm sick, like, I'm going to try to contact everyone who gave me their email who was involved in the raffle that we did at the panel. If you gave me your email, don't worry, I've still got it down on this list. I will be emailing you soon, so just give me some time to do that, and we'll organize who wins fantastic prizes for coming out to our panel. So thank you for entering the raffle. I will be getting around to that. It's just I've just been away on vacation, and then I'm back and I'm sick, so I'm going to try to do it this weekend. So hopefully by the time this comes out, you will have gotten an email. And if you didn't, you have every single right to come to my DeviantArt page and spam messages at me until I do it. Anyways, yes. Cool. That's everything. All right. So that is everything for this week, guys. Thank you guys for watching, whether or not you're on the live stream or on YouTube. We love you all the same. We're back, and we will be for the next foreseeable future, so enjoy that. My name is Rainbow Plasma.
My name's Burndo1.
I'm Flutterguy317.
And I'm at Spark.
And we'll see you guys next week. We promise.
Bye.